You've arrived at the Texas to Tennessee Podcast, your home for your favorite independent artists and a couple of guys you've never heard of.
Who?
It was Texas, it was Tennessee. It was what I had coming to me. You were unlike anything.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Texas to Tennessee podcast. Tonight, I'm Soul Gravy, and we are Steveless. But we got a extra special, even more special than Steve. We got a special co-host tonight, Mr. Bill Corbin. Thank you for taking the time.
No, thank you for having me, Steve. Has some big shoes I got to fill, so we'll do what we can.
Literally, yeah. I mean, that's actually literally, yeah. I'll get to meet you in person again pretty soon out in Mile Zero. So
Yeah.
that'll be. It's my first time getting to make that trip. So first time in Fort Worth in October, and first time in Mile Zero this year. So it's a big deal for a guy that doesn't leave the Memphis area too much. So I'm looking forward to it.
Hopefully much better weather than what you're having in Memphis.
I looked today, just while I was freezing at work. I looked, and it was like 80 degrees. I was like, okay, good. But our guest tonight is Mr. Matt Hillyer. Thanks for hopping on the podcast, man.
Well, thanks for having me, man. I've been looking forward to it, and let's let it roll. Let's have a good time, fellas.
Sounds good. Well, we always ask the guests to introduce themselves a little bit, just what you would like people to know about you. Who the hell is Matt Hillyer?
That's what it says in my hat, right there.
That's right.
Who the hell is Matt Hillyer? I'm a Leo. I enjoy long walks in the dark.
There you go.
Blindfolded. I'm a musician. I started playing real young, and most of the people, if they do know who I am, would know me from the band 1100 Springs. We were around for about 23 years. But I had some bands before that, some rockabilly bands, and of course I'm making my own records now for the last 5 years or something like that. And I've made a couple of solo records after 1100 Springs. I made one before 1100 Springs broke up, but that's what I do. I write songs and sing songs and play guitar and try to tell a joke or two in between. That's my bit.
I've watched at least one of your shows that you had with Zach Wilkerson, Steve. I'm pretty sure Steve, or maybe Zach, one of the two had it live on TikTok, and was able to watch that little thing y'all did I think it was a Sunday afternoon show that Zach does.
Yeah. Okay, that's right. Yeah, we did a Dan Silverleaf. Yeah, that was a fun time. Zach and I did a handful of shows in October and then into November, where I'm actually going to be playing with him on Saturday night at Red River Station in St. Joe. And so that'll be him and Dustin Perkins, and so that'll be a good time. But he's a great picker, great singer, great songwriter. Great dude. We had a great time kicking around for about a month or so.
I love Zach, and I love his music. One of the folks that through as much as you can through a podcast or social media became buddies with, and I love the fact that any of the acoustic shows that he does, he's not acoustic. I love that he's still dragging an amp and a Strat in. So, but that's him, and
Yeah, man, that guitar sounds so good, and he plays it. He's got his own style to it, and it fits his songs well because it's not. I love that guy for a lot of reasons, but one of them is just because he's really more of a soul singer, kind of soul songwriter than it is country or blues. It's a little bit of everything, but with the way he mixes it up, it's just very, very, very soulful. And that Stratocaster really it fits right in. It sounds really good. You know what I mean? So, good dude. Thumbs up.
Have you played with the other guy on the bill, Dustin Perkins, yet?
I don't know that Dustin and I have done a show together or not. Of course, you know how it is, Bill. Like, I mean,
Oh yeah,
they all kind of run together over years and
for
years.
sure.
I know we know each other, but like, I can't remember whether we've actually played together or not. If we did, it probably would have been one of those things where there was a bunch of
A
people
bunch
on
of
stage at the same time, you know. But I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah, he's great. That'll be a killer lineup. Dustin,
Yeah,
he's awesome and a good dude too.
yeah, cool.
Yeah, he's another one that, like I said, you know, there's a lot of people we have on, and the music might not necessarily be down my lane, but you still want to support independent guys trying to do their thing. But as soon as I found Dustin's music, I found that he loved Chris Knight, and I was like, okay, we're best friends at this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We,
you
we
want
had
to
a
get your
commonality or something. The music that he dug and the music that I dug was extremely similar, and
and you guys went and did karate in the basement after that.
exactly,
You just became
exactly,
best friends. Yeah.
exactly. Um, well, we're supposed to. Steve did not let me off the hook with the. Are you good for it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm ready.
All right. So Steve did not let me off the hook with the why are they famous? He put together a list and sent it to Bill. He said I was going to do good, but we'll see how that. Tells me that a lot. So Bill, you can just say the
Fire.
name, and I say whether I know who they are or not
All right.
without looking anything up, and
Yeah.
and where Matt is from also.
Right. Yeah. So these are all people from Dallas. I've seen
Okay.
episodes where Steve has definitely hosed you on that one. But
I'm
I
glad
think
there's proof.
this is should be pretty good.
Okay.
All right. So the first one, Vinnie Paul Abbott.
Oh well, I know that.
Oh yeah. Vinnie Paul is the drummer for Pantera.
He unfortunately passed away back in 2018.
That's right. That's
Right.
right.
Yeah.
I really couldn't remember which. I knew Dimebag, but I couldn't remember about Vinny because I knew he was in Hell
I
Yeah too.
I got to do a shot with him one time, which is, so said a lot of people.
It was Crown their shot of choice, right?
That's what we got him. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was so cool though, man. Like I don't know. I have lots of friends who were best buddies with those guys, but I didn't really know them. But it was I don't know. It's cool when you meet somebody like that whose music you dig and they're actually really cool and down to earth. And the Abbott brothers, you hear that a lot about those guys.
I've actually never I moved here in 2017 and I certainly didn't know them, but I know a lot of people who kind of grew up with them.
Mm-hmm.
No, I've never heard a single bad word
Yeah.
about either of them.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Same.
All right. So next we got Erica Badu.
Yeah, she's a singer.
Yeah.
You gotta be. No, yeah, that's it.
Oh.
You gotta be good.
No,
good.
that's
No, that's not it. Well, I'm just gonna shut up and bob my head then. But she is a singer. I remember the music video. I
Call
did that
Tyrone.
last night too.
Call Tyrone. Call him. But you can't use my phone. We went to the same high school.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's her.
Yeah.
I love Erica Badu. Her
Yeah.
her stuff is awesome.
Yeah, she's great.
All right. Next we got Clyde Barrow.
Clyde Barrow, of course we know who Clyde Barrow is.
Okay, well I'll have to phone a friend. Matt, who's Clyde?
Bonnie and Clyde, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know who that
Yeah.
is. Yeah, never
Yeah.
met him, but I've heard of him.
Bonnie Parker's married. Bonnie Parker is buried not far from my house, man. And I've driven by this cemetery like my whole life, pretty much. And that was the word that Bonnie Parker was buried there. I was like, man, she ain't buried in that cemetery. Come to find out, yeah, she is about 2 miles from here.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's wild.
Right.
All right. So next one you may have heard of George W. Bush.
Yes, I've heard of him before.
Steve,
Yeah,
Steve's really taking it
I
easy.
know.
Go around.
Well, he said there's a lot more to choose from than Dallas than
True.
Yeah.
All right. We got Kelly Clarkson.
We know
Yeah, I'm
Kelly.
familiar with Kelly. Yeah. She was on. Well, she's got everything, right? One of the best singers out there, and TV show, and was on. Was it American? Yeah, she was
It was
American
like
Idol.
I think she was like the very first winner of American Idol.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
The
think
most
so.
successful American Idol
Yes.
by far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
far.
Carrie Underwood was on there too.
Oh,
I
that's
don't
correct.
I don't know if she won. I can't remember. But I know she was on there.
Yeah.
We're like, now Kelly Clarkson's like a daytime TV host.
I know everything.
She's rocking and rolling, man.
Mm-hmm.
She like to think she gets off work and just dives into her money bin.
Yeah.
Next, we got Jeff Dunham.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Jeffa. He talks to himself.
Yes, exactly.
Uh-huh.
All right. We got Doc Holliday.
I'm familiar with Doc Holliday. Yep. Yeah, I know. Steve's
Steve
really lobbing these up.
Really?
Thanks,
He was
Steve.
in Tombstone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doc
I
Holliday
love
was
Doc
in
Holliday's
he was
role in
that he
Tombstone.
was that actor in the movie Tombstone, man.
Val Kilmer. Very familiar.
Right.
All right. Next, we got Nora Jones.
Nora
yeah.
Jones. I went to high school
Yeah.
with her too.
That's wild.
I know.
She's so. Have you ever heard the Little Willies? Her project.
Yes. Yeah. Really good.
Dude, I love the Little Willies, man.
Yeah.
That first record they put out was so good.
Yeah.
She's got a podcast out there that I ran across the other day too, where she was kind of going through songs with Isbell. That was
cool.
It was interesting because they were playing together, kind of learning a song and playing it. To hear Nora sing with anybody is cool. So pretty. I don't remember the name of it, or I plug it, but I don't. You can find it. So.
Have you ever heard that? Have you ever heard the Little Willies?
I'm not sure.
Dude, you should check it out. It's like her this guitar player Jim Campolongo, and they're just nasty.
Yeah.
All right, next we got Meatloaf.
I'm familiar with Meatloaf. Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
I have a great recipe.
Put the
Does it
link.
have the gravy on top or sauce on top or ketchup? What's the?
Well, sauce for me, ketchup. Yeah, I'm all know. That's
No, I
kinda
got
how
you.
I roll. But I like it both ways.
I'm with you on the ketchup.
Okay.
My mom used to do like tomato sauce and put the drippings in it, stuff like that. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got Rhett Miller.
We know Rhett Miller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with Rhett.
His lesser-known cousin Steve Miller, also from Dallas.
Right.
I hear he has a band. I think.
Yeah, I've
And
heard.
I think he tells a lot of jokes.
Yeah, I think they call him the Joker, maybe.
Yeah.
They call him a space cowboy.
Oh, is that what it is? My bad.
Some people do.
Some-
Some people do. That's right. That's right. Not everybody.
Not everybody.
I don't think anybody called him a space cowboy, but whatever. That's his story.
Yeah,
You don't get to make up your own nickname, man. By the way, just for people out there, like I had a guy.
I kind of did.
I got a guy that I play with, and at one point in time, he decided he was going to make up his own nickname, and he announced it to the room. He says, "I got a new nickname," and we're like, "Oh, really? Well, do tell what it is." He's like, "Sex Machine." That's like, that is not your nickname.
The ladies are gonna love this.
You don't get to make up your own nickname.
No.
And no, man, anybody gives you the nickname Sex Machine, it's probably not a good thing. You know what I mean? It's not for a good reason. I don't know if he was joking or not, but it still makes me laugh. Sorry to derail the process.
That's okay.
But it just,
That's the whole point.
Yeah. No, that's he's right. You definitely don't get to pick your own nickname, and it certainly shouldn't be that.
yeah. I hope he was
Hang
kidding.
on. I got to make this note here to put down. If you were to make your own nickname, what would it be?
Not cross off Sex Machine.
Sex Machine's out.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Next, we got Dennis Rodman.
Oh, yeah. Dennis
Speaking
Rodman
of Sex Machine.
that actually plays in well together. He might have actually been a space cowboy, or he is, and the Gangster of Love. But he was an NBA basketball player for the Spurs and Bulls, and I think the Lakers, maybe. Yes.
I just remember the Bulls.
Gotcha.
Bulls.
Understand.
All right. We got Jessica Simpson.
Of course.
Yeah. She was a singer, and had like a reality TV show or something at one point in time.
I think there was an issue with tuna fish or something
I
like
was
that.
trying to remember the chicken of
Chicken of
the
the
sea.
sea.
Chicken of the Sea. I forgot
How
about
did the
that.
chicken live in the sea?
That's a good callback.
Yeah.
Everybody forgot about that gaff.
Wouldn't you
Almost
hate to have
derailed her.
all these like highlights and things that you've done in your life and career and then be remembered for the
That's it.
thing that was
Yeah.
seen?
Yeah.
Not that
Made
she
like
was a
$1 billion
fabulous singer.
making clothes. Like she really made a whole lot of all that money that she made, like recording and singing, doesn't even touch the amount of money that apparently she made by selling clothes. I don't know. Just little tidbits there, folks.
We're in the wrong business.
Yeah,
She's
don't
got the
do
last
music,
laugh
do
on all
clothes. Yeah, I got you.
She can buy all the chicken in the sea she wants. The sea she
There you
wants.
go. Solid white albacore. All right, we got Usher.
Usher. Oh, I didn't know he was from Dallas. For some reason, I was thinking he was an East Coast guy. I really think of him as Atlanta or whatever. But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
familiar with Usher.
Usher.
Usher got the songs "Make Your Booty Go."
Mhm. Yeah, I would have thought he was an Atlanta guy too. You know,
I thought he was, but
back and forth. And then Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson is an actor. Yeah.
But he only put Owen Wilson on here. I would assume his brother's from here too, but maybe not.
Yeah. The Wilson brothers. I saw Owen Wilson riding his bike down the street one day.
Really?
Yeah, not far from my house. Again, like just
Right
I'm
past the
driving
cemetery.
along, and this guy's riding his bike, and I look over, and I'm like, "That's Owen Wilson." Oh, and I knew they were from Dallas, but it's just like, I don't know. When you see a famous person in the wild, it's kind of it's a freak show, like
Doing something very normal, like riding a bike, is like a little,
Well, yeah, but he wasn't like riding his bike like, an actual like cyclist, you know what I mean? He didn't have the shorts or the a helmet or anything like that.
no lycra, nothing.
He was riding his bike exactly how you'd imagine a character Owen Wilson played in a movie. He's just like on the sidewalk, just like slow, and it seemed like he might fall down and lose his center of
maybe he was
gravity.
rehearsing.
That's probably why I recognize him. It's like Matt's Owen Wilson right there. Like, 'cause if he was going fast, I wouldn't have got a good look at him. But he's hard. You get it.
As slow as he was going, you got it.
He was riding his bike very, very Owen Wilson-y. Like it's exactly. He did not disappoint in that regard.
That's good. I like Owen Wilson as an adjective. I gotta put that. All right. Okay. Who's next?
That's the last one we
That's
got
it.
on.
Okay, cool.
Those are softballs,
Yeah,
man.
that was the easiest list ever. He said he was
It's my
setting me up for
first time.
success.
It's my first time. He's taking it easy
He
on
just
me.
wanted to make sure that Bill knew all the people that he was asking about.
Do you notice there was only one sports, like one athlete on there? That was for me. He knew I wouldn't know any of them.
Dennis Rodman is single-handedly helping the relationship between North Korea and the United States. Did y'all see any of that
Dennis.
when he went over there?
He did. Yeah, I do remember that vaguely.
Oh, they did
Yeah.
like a whole documentary show. I recommend. It's cringeworthy because he's just Rodman is just like, oh man, come on. Anyway, sorry, I digress.
No,
Well-
I'm staying up and watching that tonight. So.
Everybody's got homework. Report back in next week. All right. All right. So another Steve question. For like folks that have tuned in for the very first time, they're like, who the hell is this Steve guy? But it's called the pie question, Matt, and it's a musical pie. It's divided up into 4 sections. It is.
All right.
All right. So you got songwriting, performance, studio, and then the business. That's socials, all the rest, everything that's not there others goes into the last piece. Which one of those is home for you?
I would like to say songwriting. That's my favorite. That's my favorite part of all of the stuff because, well, I mean, not to sound super duper cliche, but here it goes. Like, I mean, it's so personal, and I love performing. I love the socials drive me crazy. I can have fun with it, but also I'm old AF at this point, and it's just like every time I sit down to make a post, I'm like, dude, man, what are you doing? You know what I mean? But I need to get better about that. It's just to have more fun with that. But songwriting is what I like the most. You know, it's just the idea that you can, I don't know, you can just sort of stare at the wall and play with an idea, and you know, and work it, and then at the end of it, something that didn't exist before, now it exists. And then
Mm.
if it's decent enough, you can watch it sort of come to life, and and people can respond to it, and that's the whole process of doing that is, man, there's it's hard to beat to me.
I can imagine. Well, I really can't imagine, but just as far as the time, as far as when you actually are putting something together, to when you actually can hop on a stage and see. I mean, you could hop online and see it, and people could leave comment. I mean, make a video of something that you just wrote and put. People leave comments. But when you can actually put that, you know, on stage and see a reaction, especially when you get the reaction, um, I'm sure that's one of the best feelings that any songwriter can have.
Or like, the classic sort of thing. Movies about bands and things always have this sort of cliche scene where like they hear their song on the radio for the first time and they go nuts, right?
Right.
And that's, it doesn't really work that way, except sometimes it does. Like sometimes it really actually does. And you turn on the radio and bam, there it is, something that you created, and it's out there for people to hear. I'm sorry, that just doesn't get old to me. Like
Hmm.
it doesn't happen all the time, but it just doesn't. I don't know. Just the whole process of just taking an idea or a feeling from this germ of an idea and then turning it into something that exists in the world and that sort of just will exist forever. That's cool because it really is, like I say, it's so personal when it starts. It is just something that you're doing in a room, and hopefully trying to make a connection with an audience. And then when you're able to do it, man, I don't know, that just doesn't get old to me. I love it.
I can only imagine. Bill, you got anything you want to piggyback on that, Bill? Or
No, I mean, I love all that. It's one of those things. It's hard for me because I'm not a songwriter. I'm an instrumentalist, and so it doesn't mean that I'm not extremely proud of stuff
right,
I've worked on and when I see it. But songwriting is such a vulnerable thing, and you're really
gotcha.
putting stuff out there. It's like if I'm doing my job, hopefully I'm elevating the song. Uh, and you get super pumped to hear it on the radio, you know,
Yeah,
um, or anywhere. I mean, I did just like having that, creating something out of nothing, the act of being creative, and then you know, hopefully it stands the test of time, but it's out there forever, and there's something beautiful in that. But I can only imagine.
the
It's
writing
like when you're
side.
talking to somebody about like kids, and you don't have kids, and you have dogs like me, and you're like, oh yeah, no, I understand about the lack of sleep. I got two puppies. It's like it's like that's the only thing I can kind of compare it to. Like, yeah, they're still my babies, right? But they're not actual babies,
Right.
right?
I
Uh,
understand.
so like, but yeah, I take a lot of pride in serving the song, and playing what's appropriate and making it feel good and having it resonate with people that way. Uh, but not the same
It's
as a
different.
songwriter for sure.
I
That's
understand.
such a funny analogy that the connection that you made there, because I used to be that guy with our dog, and then we had kids, and then I turned into the guy that just like rolls his eyes at people who talk about their dogs like their pets or their kids or whatever. Like, that's such a funny deal to me. But I get it, man. I get it because we love they're family members. I
Yeah, they.
understand.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, you're right, man.
I
That's
mean, my
great.
kids don't wag their tail when I come home from work, so there's that.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. They don't
thank God
they
my
don't hang out
dogs
with me
can't.
anymore. They're about to be 20 and almost 18, so it's like they don't need me anymore. They don't need me anymore. The dog's there for me.
Right.
My emotional support.
Yeah,
The dog listens sometimes.
I'm not saving money for college for these things, man. You know what I mean? Like they're not.
Although, man, you might as well because I mean, their pets are expensive, man.
Oh, we just went for both their shots and everything like 2 days ago, and just like a checkup and everything like that. Their annual visit. By the time they got their heartworm medication and everything like that, it was like 1,200 or like 1,200 bucks, something like that.
Nuts. It's nuts. My daughter is in college and she messaged me last semester and talking about coming home for Christmas, and she's bringing this cat that she's got now. And I'm sitting there going, well, you better keep it in that room because we already have a cat here, and if our cat gets a hold of your cat, it's gonna tear it up, like because our cat don't play, man. I've seen her in action. She don't mess around. And but anyways, I'm trying to tell her it's like, it's cool you have a pet, but you're not prepared. And she showed up and she had all these heartworm shots that she had to give this cat, and she's like, it's so expensive. It's like, yeah, I told you.
Oh.
Like, you guys keep bringing home pets. No more. It's enough. No more.
Yeah, you can find a cat behind a dumpster for free.
Right.
But it's like, to keep it.
But it ain't free.
It ain't free.
Not at all. Yeah, no, I mean, I told the kids, and I mean it. Not that anybody listens to me, but I mean it. This round of animals, we got a guinea pig. I think the guinea pigs got, forbid. I shouldn't say it, but the guinea pig's going to be the next to go, I think. And then we got a cat and we got a dog. We just put one down last week. And but I told him, I said, once this round of animals isn't around anymore, we're taking some time off. Now, if you want to mark this recording right now
Understand.
and
That
check
ain't gonna
back
happen.
with me in 5 years and let's see what happens. You know what I mean? I believe immediately they're gonna bring some more animals in the house.
Probably
But-
so. Probably so.
Yeah.
So, one question I want to ask both of y'all. Have you? I know you have, but being in a situation where you go in a bar or maybe scrolling social media, whatever the case would be, and you hear somebody or a band playing one of your songs or something you've played on. I like asking that question to start with, but now I got two folks that kind of bounce that off of. What's that? How does that feel, or what are you thinking when you get put in that situation?
Bill, you want to go first? Or?
Sure, yeah. That's happened a fair amount, like in the stockyard. Somebody will be covering an American Aquarium song or something like that. And I love it. I think it's awesome. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily, I get uncomfortable if somebody, starts pointing at me and then pointing at the guy on stage. It's like, I don't need any of that. But no, I love it. I just went to go see American Aquarium last month here in.
I bet that's something to
It's
watch
awesome.
somebody else's take on all the songs that you recorded with them.
For sure. It would have been sad to me if the original lineup broke up and then,
It just goes.
it just stopped and disappeared. And I love Shane, he used to come see us play, and he's been there since that
okay.
original lineup broke up. So it's cool to see somebody and all those guys get what we were doing, and then watching them put their take on it. I love it. The albums are out there forever, but it's nice that it's living and breathing and changing, and that people are covering it and making it their own. So I think it's great. As long as I don't get called out while I'm in there, I'm uncomfortable with that.
I can only imagine though, you're hanging out somewhere and then all of a sudden somebody, a band kicks naturally kicks off one of those songs. Doesn't play it because you're in the room, but it just kind of happens.
I was the bass player, so nobody's gonna see me and be like, "Oh, that's the guy,"
Yeah.
They don't know,
Nah, a
Real
lot of folks in the
fans
scene know
know.
you.
Real fans know, man.
Well, I know that a lot of folks in the Fort Worth scene know who Bill is, so
For sure.
right, because of
I think
making
it-
friends with everybody. So
I also, to answer my point of view on that, sometimes people will send me they'll be out someplace and there'll be a band who's covering a song I wrote or whatever, and they'll, inevitably I'll get a text message with somebody else playing. I don't think it's cool, like that's one of the highest forms of flattery to me. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's one of the reasons you do it is so that stuff will go where it goes. You don't know where it's going to go. You don't know when it's going to come back to you again. I don't know. I like that a lot. And I don't know if it struck a chord with somebody, and they like it enough to cover it. That's a pretty high compliment, I think.
Yeah. I actually kind of can't imagine a different answer. I can't imagine somebody walking into a bar and being like, son of a bitch, like how dare they?
You didn't get permission for that.
Like even if they are butchering it.
ASCAP is not paying me for you playing that song.
Where's my BMI check? Yeah, like even if they're butchering it, like still they're trying, I mean, it's I would hope that nobody I know would be so
There's probably
bitter.
somebody that's doing that. I probably know a few people that would do that, but it's one to be a fan of it, but it's another to take the time to actually, that's another step I would think of taking the time to actually learn, especially with a band, putting it together. So anyway, so man, I mean we've already flown by up to halftime, so we can. I'm gonna put a picture up when we play your song, and so. You'll still be able to see each other, but as far as online or whatever, if you need to step away or whatever the case would be, you got a few minutes. But Matt, you want to kind of give us a little breakdown on Moving Away?
Yeah, I chose this song because I think it's funny, and it makes me laugh and smile because it's true. As I sit in this house, this is the house that I grew up in. We moved into this house in 1984. And then about 14 years ago, my parents wanted they wanted to move to another house, and they sold us this house. And I didn't really want to buy it, first of all, because I grew up here and I've been listening to my dad curse this house since I was a kid. So I know what's wrong with it and all of that. But it's a great neighborhood. And then they told us what they wanted to sell it to us for. And I was like, yeah, that works. Yeah, that's cool. We can do that. They were very kind, but the people who used to live next door, as I point that way, right over there, they used to live next door, and this is going to come back and bite me, I know, someday, because they're going to show up at a show. I will have told this story right enough times that we're going to be like, dude, I thought we were pals, Anyways, it was generations of the same family, and they used to drive my mom and dad nuts when it was their house. And then when it was our house, I tried to stay more friendly with them, but they still would throw these parties and get up to all kinds of stuff. And, but still I try to be friendly with them because you don't want to have enemies like that living next door, So there was a generation of like younger kids, probably in their 20s, and they would always be working on some car or whatever. They had some cool cars too. But anyway, I walked up to one of the guys one day, and I was like, "Hey, what's going on?" And he's like, "Well, I don't know if you heard, but we're moving." And I was like, "Oh no, dang it, darn it," because it was always just a freak show out over there, Especially when I was a kid, there was a lot of craziness going on. So I mean, the story is true, and I went inside after getting the news, and I wrote this song, and just kind of it makes me feel good because good things come sometimes to those who wait, Like, I wish them well if they're out there, I do wish them well. We were friendly, but there's
I
a
hope
lot
they
of
find the perfect neighborhood to with a neighbor that is a lot like them, right?
To my knowledge, they're maybe in the Houston area, so I keep my eyes peeled when I go to Houston, like.
I don't tell this story in Houston.
I think that they would think it was funny. I would hope, you know what I mean?
Right.
The thing is, if it wasn't true, I'd feel differently. But it's true, pretty much 99.9% true. It makes me. There's a funny video that we did for the song, which you can look up on the YouTubes.
All right.
So anyway,
sounds good.
That's the backstory.
So I'm glad to know that it's true because I was listening to it. It is it's an entertaining song. So everybody is going to enjoy it. So if y'all wouldn't mind hitting the little microphone thing on your screen, and here we go.
Worst neighbors ever. The dog's off the leash running around my side yard. I know what he's about to do. Don't. Ah, jeez. My next door neighbors sell marijuana. Strange cars pull up every day. Ain't a secret, I really wanna see them pack up and move away. I don't mind so much that they sell it, 'cause other things bother me worse by far. Like the way they clog my sidewalk with the fleet of broke down cars. They have a party every Saturday night. They keep it rocking till the dawn. They don't care, they know it ain't right. They let the dog take a shit on my lawn. And their mama sees it all happening. She don't care who misbehaves. The worst of the bunch knows I can't stand him. Still he just stands on the porch and waves. But I ain't got the blues, 'cause I just heard the news. And it's a happy day. They're moving away. They're taking their broke down towards another place to play. And I feel so good every time that I say that my dirty ass next door neighbors are moving away. They got a nest full of rats in the garage that make the way into my yard. They got a bunch of cats they don't care for, living every one of their 9 lives hard. Like to flick their half-lit Winstons into my pretty St. Augustine. They got a yard full of weeds they're fenced in, worse than any you've ever seen. But I'm so happy I could cry, and my hopes are so damn high. It's a happy day. They're moving away. All the rats and the cats gonna have to find a place to stay. And I feel so good every time that I say that my dirty ass next door neighbors are moving away. Oh, the joy that I felt when I knew I'd never have to see him again. It's a happy day. They're moving away. That's the reason I'm wearing this big smile on my face. And I feel so good each and every time that I say that my dirty ass next door neighbors are moving away. Yeah, my dirty ass next door neighbors are moving away. Well, bye.
I imagine that does get a great response live. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of people can relate to the concept. You know what I mean? Problem is this now. We got great people that live over there now, and they tore the house down and built a really nice big house next to us. And the problem is this, now we're the neighbors. You know what I mean? Like now
You're the one with the older house, and
Yeah, I feel like we were always saying, no matter how like sort of shabby and our house would be falling apart brick by brick, we could always point at them and be like, "Yeah, but look at that, look at them," you know.
Well, that's the
And
next
now
song.
it's us, you know. It's kind of like having your drinking buddies, you know. It's like you need to have somebody that you
It's a
keep
little worse than
around
you.
that's just a little bit worse than you. So like when you know, like when you get up to something, it's like, "Oh, look," or your wife's like, "What are you doing?" You'd be like, "Well, look at him.
Yeah.
He started it," you know.
That's right.
Again,
Um,
I think that I've become that guy for most people at this point.
they're probably writing songs about you across the street.
I should be so lucky, you know.
You were talking about telling that story, and then the person is in the room, and you don't know. It reminded me of a story that where we saw Cody Canada and The Departed in Memphis at a place called Lafayette's Music Room. But he was telling a story about playing at another place. He's like, "Man, this place is so nice. Like your feet don't stick to the floor. Like everything's so clean." And then somebody just gets up from the bar and goes, "Fuck you, Cody," or "Fuck you, Cody," and
Yeah,
like
right.
storms out. And it was the bar owner of the previous place that they had played at a bunch of years. He's like, well, I mean, he wasn't lying. He was exactly right about what he was saying. But still,
Right.
but it
Yeah.
was one of those moments. So,
Not
um,
everybody's got a sense of humor.
I mean, they had sticky floors. What do you want to say?
Yeah.
You couldn't dance around if you wanted to. You just kind of had to waddle in one spot because you couldn't move your feet too much. So it is what
Yeah.
it is. It was a college bar. So what do you expect? But anyway, so I had some of 1100 Springs music on just a playlist, and they would pop up and I would listen to them, but I never had a face or anything with the music until Sequestered.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
that's where I knew who I figured out who you were, and a lot of um, I imagine a lot of people did, which is I was talking to Bill about before we hit record. Out of such a crappy thing going on in the world, Sequester was pretty special, and I kind of fell down that YouTube rabbit hole when I got home from work. Just typing that in and seeing all the different from movie night to Merle to Bob Seger to whoever all you guys covering all those songs, but um, I'm sure in the moment you didn't really necessarily realize how helpful that was. And also, I had somebody leave me a comment the other day and said, I posted some song I covered or whatever, and they were like, during the pandemic, watching your lives really helped out, a lot with all of our downtime. And of course, I didn't think about that. I was just bored at home like everybody else. Um, but how did you get into that sequestered thing? Did you already know everybody? And then
Oh yeah,
also
I know.
kind of the feedback you still get, does that get brought up to you
Yeah,
even
yeah. I
now?
mean, that'll go on. I can't. I swear we're gonna do something else. But yeah, we are. I mean, like I already knew everybody, and well, take that back. There were as it got bigger,
Right.
there were some people that I met. But like for the initial week, it wasn't supposed. It's one of those things. It really wasn't supposed to be anything.
It was started
And
from Merle's birthday, right?
yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I think Courtney and Jason kind of reached out to a handful of us, saying, "Hey, it might be kind of fun to do like a virtual hag off because we love to
Hmm.
do that when we're at these Steamboat or wherever, play Merle Haggard songs until somebody just can't. We just can't do it anymore, and that goes on. It's been known to go on for hours and hours and hours. I love it.
Hmm.
But we're like, what if we just did it and we just told everybody to go to somebody else's page? It's real clunky and cumbersome to begin with, but it was a fun idea. So I can't remember how many people were on the very first one. Maybe there might have been like 10 of us or something like
Right.
that. And people had so much fun because that was like, April 6th which was the pandemic was just starting. So it was really a lot of fun, but it wasn't supposed to. We weren't going to do it again. But then John Prine died,
Mm.
and we were all kind of like, well, I mean, that was a lot of fun, and it would be very poignant and important, I think, to all of us if we did a Prime night. And then Courtney and Jason and me kind of got together and s- sort of figured out how to make it work a little bit easier. And then we're like, well, what if we, did it on a regular basis? And it was really kind of the three of us that kind of made it into like the actual we gave it a name.
Mm-hmm.
And then as we went on and kept doing it, because what else were we going to do? You know what I
Right.
mean? As we kept doing it, people are like, well, how do we donate to you guys? Well, you have a Venmo or anything like that? So, well, how would that work exactly? What, at the end of the show, we all split up
Right.
the money? We're not doing it for that. And that sounds ridiculous. Like, I mean, it would be too difficult. So instead, like, we turned it into a nonprofit, and we're able to help a lot of people. But nonprofit specifically sort of geared to helping people who are musicians or in the music industry.
They couldn't
And a
work at
lot
that
of
time.
yeah, and it raised
Yeah.
a bunch of money. We need to do
Mm.
something again to sort of fill that tank back up so we can, because there's nothing that feels better, than being able to help people from something that was helping us. Like a lot of people have come to us and said from all over the place, everybody, all the people that have been in sequestered songwriters, like, have gone all over the world, and they see
Mm-hmm.
sequestered shirts and everything like everywhere, and more people come up and they tell us exactly what it meant. But it's like, it meant a lot to us too, because we'd have lost our minds if we didn't have something to do. And then the cherry on that Sunday is that we were really able to help a lot of people by, if you need some money and you can fill out the application and stuff like that, then if we can help you, we did. And so that's great, man. I really want to put together another event at some point in time, but as you can imagine, it becomes very difficult because
Because now everybody's
We're-
working.
we're not sequestered anymore. Everybody's out there running around, so I don't know. But it's been one of the most valuable things that I've ever been part of to me.
Um, well, I mean, now this app is available, which would help as far as another internet version of it and people being on the move. If
Yeah.
you could piece something together like that, it might be easier still doing it virtual just because everybody is actually working. But so you do get people, at your shows or whatever, you'll have people bring those times up. I mean, that was
Oh yeah.
what, 5 years now, something like that.
People will never forget. You know what I
That's
mean? Like
crazy.
they'll never forget because we were all going through the same sort of terrible situation at the same time, and whatever it was you were doing, however you got through, you'll always remember that, you
Mm,
know.
that's
And so many of the relationships that I had were already good with everybody. Um, but then you get closer with everyone through all of that. We still have a text thread that we look at. Most of us, there's I don't know how many, like 20 something people on this thread, and something happens on the thread every day. You know, like it. I stopped trying. I gave up on trying to sort of sneak off of it, or I love it now. Like but when it was really going on, you'd wake up, you'd look at your phone, and there'd be like 173 messages from everyone. People would get a little bit loose, a little bit loaded, and it would go into the wee hours, and you wake up and you're just like, oh my god. And then you had to scroll to the beginning where the first joke was, you know.
it's not funny
That still
anymore.
it still happens but not as much. But there is some these are friends you're never gonna forget that, and but people who were there with us, they don't forget it either. It's really cool.
Do you find that you had a bunch of people come up that like discovered your music and delved into your back catalog from that?
Yeah, and it's the same for everybody else too. Like it was kind of the best opportunity for whatever they call cross pollination of cross marketing, however you want to look at it. Like to be stuck indoors and not being able to play shows, and for all of us who were friends anyways, to be just sort of sharing each other's audiences and just doing something fun, like, yeah, we all kind of realized and discovered people that, maybe we hadn't discovered before, It's really cool. I think it's great.
Yeah. That was definitely one of the, I mean, it's something really cool that I'm glad that, y'all were able to, kind of see, I'm sure what was the Bob Ross thing, the happy accidents or whatever.
Yeah, right.
But still, I'm glad. It still took some time that y'all were investing some time. I know you didn't have that much to to do out in the world, but still, to be able to get that kickback from folks and knowing that people were enjoying it. I could only imagine like the first time or two when you start to actually see the views and the amount of people that are actually taking the time to show up was probably pretty cool and maybe overwhelming to see too. So
it was, and it was such a thing that because it you had all of these people from our scene that were doing it, and we were just doing it for fun, and then it became something that really had some people were talking about it, and then you get a lot of people, singers and songwriters that we got to a point where it's kind of sucked because
you couldn't let everybody in.
We couldn't let everybody in,
that would suck.
And it is a drag because as much as you love it, you can't. I don't know how long
I understand.
the longest show that we did was, but it's got to be pretty long. But hey, we had Johnny Bush on there one week. We had Ray Benson. We had, it was great. It was really cool. So, I want to. I liked it. Again.
I always liked it when like a Aretha Franklin or somebody would pop up and to make a 90% male lineup have to do these. Do these
oh,
songs.
Dude, I cursed Aretha Franklin week so bad for the first half of the week. Because this is how it would work, really, is that, you knew who the next guest, the next artist was going to be. And it got to the point where, okay, you had a week to think about the song you were going to do. And at 10 a.m. on Tuesday, because we do it on Monday, on 10 a.m. on Tuesday, we knew that that's when you would be able to pick your song. So literally everybody all over the country who's in this thing is hovering at 9:59 with their song already typed in to hit send, because the minute it changed over to 10, it was like ding 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 ding. It's like, oh man, I didn't get Natural Woman. Come on, man. Because I don't know, I was late to the Aretha Franklin roll call, and then I was stuck with. But I wound up loving that week. It's one of my favorite weeks. But the whole time I'm going, Aretha Franklin, really? Come on, man. But I because everybody else got the good ones, and I wound up going and finding a deep cut that I really loved a lot, and I had a lot of fun doing it. But man, you talk about it, and then you got to spend all week kind of learning the song.
Right.
But. No, talk about a good way to pass the time if you're stuck indoors. Like it was really good. I think about some of the songs we learned. It's like, why don't I know that now? Why did it just fly out of my brain like that? I wish I could remember half those songs.
It's amazing how quickly that happens.
Right. I know.
When you cram for something and then you play it and you don't have to play it again for sure. Immediately forgot.
Yeah.
Immediately forgot.
I got a good story about that. We played a wedding one time. We were hired to play a wedding, And every once in a while, they'll ask you to do a special request. You don't always do it, but we try to. This is their special day, so we try to do it. They asked for the Beatles' "A Day in the Life" for the father-daughter dance, which me knowing the Beatles catalog, I was like, man, that's a little weird. That's a weird request.
Yeah.
And there was a voice in my head that says, you know what they're thinking of, that they got it wrong. And I should have listened to that voice. But we had a rehearsal, and we learned "A Day in the Life." I read the news today, oh boy. And it's the Beatles never played that song live. And it's got that big orchestral ascension. Woke up, got out of bed. We learned the whole thing. And this wedding was in Marble Falls. And it's time for the father-daughter dance. And they come out, and they're dancing. And I read the news today, oh boy. And I could see the father's look on his face, just like, what? What is going on? And we did it, and they just like tried to dance to this song. I saw the guy like years later. He's like, you played my daughter's wedding. It's like, yeah, we did. And he's like, yeah, you played "A Day in the Life." It's like, yeah, we did. He's like, I meant to say "in my life." I'm like, yeah, it's like, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. But he owned it. He was like, I typed it wrong. It's my bad. I said, well, good. But I mean, that's my point. If I have one at all, that particular song was one that I truly wish we would have just kept playing. Would have just not lost that. We hadn't forgotten it, because who plays that song ever? We actually did it. Like. Now I couldn't play it for you if I tried,
When I was in American Aquarium, we played a wedding, and they wanted a David Bowie song, and it's lost on me right now what David Bowie song it was. It was so not good. Like, I hope nobody remembers it. Not the crowd,
right?
The band. It was rough to get through.
Most of the requests that we would get were like pretty in the ballpark, But then we also got a request to play a Snow Patrol song, which is like, really? I mean, you hired us. Like, I mean,
right.
You hired 1100 Springs. We play honky tonk dance hall music. Okay. But I kind of, listen, man, I'm a little messed up, but I kind of like those little challenges, like.
Understand.
Like, sometimes that's fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Get outside of your box,
Yeah.
When you said American Aquarium wedding, like, I mean, they had to love sad songs to book. I mean,
yeah. So
BJ has so many
like
amazing sad songs.
Not the band you think that you would want to play a wedding.
I mean, if most of the party knows it, then whatever. Like, let's party.
See, here's what would happen when like a couple would meet at one of our shows. A couple years later, they'd get married. They would, and like, they were huge fans, but Nana doesn't understand why we're not playing Brown Eyed Girl or any Earth, Wind, and Fire songs. And so, like, pretty much, like, which all that matters is the couple. Like, they would love it, but everybody there pretty much
just
was looking at us like we had our dicks out on stage.
Oh yeah, well, and Nana's got the check too, by the way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we learned that lesson.
She did not want to let that go at the end of the night.
You need to play it when the bride and the groom come up. They're like, just do your normal show. It's like,
you sure about that? Are you sure?
Gotten this other half of the. We just have the deposit at this point.
It's even that way, just DJing a wedding.
That's the boss.
From my point. Yeah, it's even that way, when they're like, oh, just play what you want to. And I'm like,
doesn't work like that.
No, like whenever 6:30 hits and Meemaw leaves, then we can, then you can let me know when the coast is clear, and then I'll do what you want to.
We want to.
Right, exactly. Until then, we're electric sliding and Brown Eyed Girl, and so.
Right.
But either way, all right. So we're past our hour point. So let's get a couple of rapid fires, and then I want to keep everybody's promised time. So, did Steve? Did you get any rapid fires?
He didn't send me any. He sent me some. I do have a few rapid fires.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, I'll go first, and we'll go. Matt, what was your first concert ever that you attended, and then what was your first one that you paid for?
All right, the first one I ever went to was Chuck Berry, and the first one I ever paid for, I think, was The Fix. It was in the 80s, like I had that song Saved by Zero, or One Thing Leads to Another. That might have been the first one I actually paid for, but Chuck Berry was the first one I went to.
Is that partially what led you down that
I was
rockabilly
so
lane,
young.
or were you already there?
I mean, I was so young that I really I only remember like bits and pieces of it, but it's pretty
Gotcha.
cool. I can remember watching Chuck Berry, but like, um, you know,
It's like snapshots.
it's true. That's what happened. You know.
All right. I don't know. I thought about this earlier. Hopefully this doesn't sound like, I mean, it's whatever, but it might be a stupid question, but I usually say when I say sad song, what comes to mind? We'll go with that one. And then what comes to mind when I say sad song?
George Jones.
He stopped loving her?
Well, no, not even that
No,
one.
just George Jones, period.
George Jones, period, because he's got so many songs like "The Door" is miserable. These days I barely get by. I mean, that's miserable. Anyway, he's got so many that are just about as miserable as you can get, and when he sings them too, you believe it. So that's what I think of for sad songs.
All right. When I say rockabilly, who is the first artist that comes to mind for you when I say rockabilly?
I mean, Elvis Presley,
Okay.
the Sun Sessions. I mean, that's the quintessential rockabilly. I mean, it could be Johnny Burnett, it could be Gene Vincent or Eddie Cochran or something like that. But
Understand.
the one that really set me off to the races was Elvis and all that Sun stuff that he did. He kind of was the dude for all of that.
I was just curious which one would actually pop. I was kind of thinking you might say more like the Buddy Holly thing, but I wasn't sure. So that's cool.
I love Buddy Holly.
All right, Bill, you want to do one of yours?
Yeah. What's your favorite venue to play? And then also, what's a bucket list venue that you want to play but haven't?
Man, it's difficult. This is one of those things like we were talking about earlier. Like if I name my favorite venue, I mean, it's going to be someplace in Dallas just because it's my hometown, and I love playing at Dan Silverleaf a lot. I've always had a great time there, and it's a medium-sized room, but it's just something about the vibe there that I've always loved. I love the Kessler Theater. Yeah, it's a great place. People are great. I've always loved the Granada Theater too. That's a great place. I've never played at Kane's Ballroom. I never have, man. And I know that it's not like it couldn't happen or it shouldn't have happened. It's just I just haven't ever done it.
Sure.
So, and of course, I would love to play a show at Red Rocks. That's be rad.
Yeah, same.
So, right. So I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of not really being decisive on.
That's okay.
One answer, but those are the ballparks.
For sure.
A little detour is something we talked about before the pod, and I didn't bring it up because we kind of went all over the place. But talk a little bit about we were talking about Hernando's Hideaway with Dale Watson's place. You said you knew Dale a little bit and stuff like that. If folks that don't know, Hernando's Hideaway is a venue in Memphis that, like, just one of those time capsule places from I don't know exactly. I would guess. Well, I mean, I know it was way back into the early 1900s, but as far as the way it looks, I would guess late 60s, early 70s. The way that time capsule, like time just stopped when you walk in the door. But Dale and Celine have been, trying to keep that ball rolling with that place, and yeah.
I love Dale and Celine a lot, and I got to go. I was on I was on two different tours with him. I guess I guess it's been a couple years now, but always been friendly with him and done shows with him over the years, and but we really got to know each other riding in the van together. And he's just a cool dude. He's a funny guy. I got a lot of stories I could tell, um, but he really is somebody who cares a lot about roots music and such that he's done all kinds of things to keep stuff that's cool alive. Things that are special that otherwise would go by the wayside. Dale really, and Celine as well, the two of them together, like really have spent a lot of time, effort, and money trying to keep a lot of cool stuff alive. And Hernando's is a perfect example of that, because that place has been around forever. Elvis played there, Jerry Lee played there. I mean, you name it. Like all these rock and roll, R&B, rhythm and blues artists coming through Memphis and played at the Hideaway. And the heritage that it's got, that's what Dale's been trying to keep going for in so many different ways for so long. And it is a really cool, it is kind of a time capsule. It's just sort of, you go in there and you feel like not that much has changed, and I think it's just a cool place, and it's a really cool that he's doing what he can to keep it going. I think he was trying to sell it for a minute, but
I think so.
I think he
Well,
maybe just
I'm sure
decided to
business is
keep
not
it.
easy. I'm sure, just like every
Yeah.
other independent venue owner, it's not always easy. So that was one of the points of bringing that up. You had a connection with him, and we all know venues that support independent music doesn't necessarily always come out on the great end of things money wise. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But you gotta support those venues, or you don't have anywhere to hear the music. So,
That's right. It's hard out there, man. It's hard out there.
all right. Well, Bill, you got one more, and do you have one more?
Yeah, I was just going to ask if there was an
Okay.
artist that you that's inspired you recently, whether that be an older artist that you kind of rediscovered or discovered, or somebody new that you've been listening to.
Man, I just got back from Steamboat, and that whole thing is a lot of fun to see everybody and everything like that. But I can't undersell the amount of sort of recharging my battery sometimes and watching other people do their
Hmm.
thing. Um, even if it's somebody I know.
Right.
Um, and I got to watch a set. It's not the first time I've seen him by any means, but like I got to watch Paul Thorne do his thing
Oh yeah.
the other day, and he's got such a unique, original voice, and his songwriting is so good, and he's so funny, and just real presence on stage, and uh, man, he just knocked me out, which is funny because he's the only guy we know that's actually been in
That
the ring
actually
with
could.
Roberta Durant. You know what I mean? Like,
That actually
yeah,
could knock
but no,
somebody out. Yeah.
he really, like it's not a surprise. I've known he was great for years, but it was just refreshing. Just when you see even somebody if it's somebody
Oh,
new,
yeah.
that's awesome. But even if it's
Sure.
somebody and then you hear them do their thing, you're like, ah, man, I guess I didn't I didn't forget, but I'm reminded exactly how good a talent pool we have in our scene, and how many people are really just throwing haymakers out there. I'm going for another boxing reference there.
Yeah.
No, right now, like I came back from that just thinking, I got to listen to more Paul Thorne. But I mean,
Sure.
everybody did great shows out
He seems
there.
like one of those guys that's like the artists. It's like there's certain ones that there's a certain group of fans that like them, but then you start talking to artists and they love them. Like
Yeah,
Hood posted a cover of one of his songs today. Just it's kind of random. Now that's two Paul Thorne things today, and I rarely see that much of people talk about Paul. And he's coming to town too in February, I believe, with Tab Benoit. So I'm gonna definitely go check that one out. Um,
yeah.
All right. Well, this is I appreciate the time for both of y'all. Bill, thank you very much. I'll get
Thank
to
you for
see
having me.
you pretty soon at mile zero, and Matt. Hopefully, one of these Texas trips, I'll get to shake a hand in person. But this is the last and
Eh,
final question. It is the most important question. It
Okay.
started as a joke on episode one. Bill, do you remember what the question is?
Oh, very much so.
Okay, let's
I have a
let's do
strong
that
opinion
then.
about it.
Okay, I want the guest to ask the question.
Very important question. What's your favorite Little Debbie dessert?
My favorite Little Debbie dessert. Wow. Are zebra cakes a Little Debbie dessert?
That
Yep.
counts. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Are oatmeal pies
Oh
the
yeah.
Little
Uh-huh.
Debbie dessert?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Yeah.
now I got a dilemma here.
Well,
I'm
hold
going
on.
with
There's also the double decker oatmeal cream pie. So that's
that's
an option too.
that's a little rich for my blood, but I'm going with the oatmeal cream pie. Yeah, that's a
Steve
classic.
would be happy about that.
Uh-huh.
So
Hmm.
that's Steve's camp. All right. Well, excellent job on the last question there, Bill. Yeah, hopefully you're finding your your fair share of those these days. Um, all right, guys. I appreciate the time from everybody. If you don't follow Matt on all of his socials because he loves doing social media, make make sure you give him a follow. But also, I mean, when artists do take the time to do social media and engage with them and bullshit with them and interact and comment and all that stuff, and go to shows, go support the independent music, no matter which artist it is. Buy some merch, help them get down the road, because it's hard for me to see it, but Hood mentioned it last night on the episode that they need the merch sales and the ticket sales, pre-ticket sales, early ticket sales, more than ever.
Yeah,
I don't know all the ins and outs and that. I can't speak on that, but I hear a lot of people say it, so it must be true. So we could have a whole nother different roundtable podcast about that. But do those things. Buy your tickets early. Go to a show, shake some hands, buy some merch, get them down the road. Guys, thanks
appreciate
for
you
your time.
guys. Yeah,
We'll see you.
this is